incompetence, top to bottom. No more clearly than Pete Hegseth, Fox News host, who is running the Department of Defense. And it is a shit show from top to bottom. We learned that not only is he doing war plans on Signal, he's copy and pasting classified emails. CNN reports, Pentagon watchdog has evidence Hegseth's Signal messages included classified information. The Pentagon Inspector General has received evidence that the military plans shared from a Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth's Signal account to the group chat earlier this year were taken from a U.S. Central Command document that was marked classified at the time. And I want to remind people, he has not been impeached. He is the Department of Defense Secretary. He has not been impeached for classified information on a Signal chat, not in a secured classified facility, the SCIF thing. He's still in power. And in my opinion, it's because Donald Trump wants to use the military against the American people, just like he wants to use ICE against the American people, so that he doesn't ever have to leave office and we don't ever get to vote again, because you could not surround yourself with this much fucking incompetence if that's not something you wanted.
And I think this also shows the disdain that the Republican Party has for the military.
That's a great point.
That they use them for props, that they roll out, support our troops, they fight for your freedom, they roll it out for political purposes. And then when it comes time to honor them, to respect them, to vote for their health care, to vote for their benefits, to vote for their well-being and safety, they never fucking do it. And there's nothing more disgraceful than having this man who is so over his skis at the Department of Defense completely put in danger our troops that MAGA claims they love so much. And so, stand up and do the national anthem because, by God, they love the truth so much. This exposes the disdain and the lack of respect that all MAGA voters have for the military, and they use the military as props for political purposes. Just like Donald Trump finally exposed the evangelical hypocrites for the hypocrites I always fucking knew they were, Pete Hegseth's continued command at the Department of Defense exposes the entire Republican Party as using every single troop, every single American troop, as a prop for their own personal gain.
You know what it reminds me of? It's, we're so pro-life, but we don't want to give any child care help, no social safety net, no family medical leave. We don't want to do anything. So what they are is pro-birth. And they are shutting hospitals, veteran staff for veterans across the board. They never vote for veterans. It's the exact same
Always
hypocrisy.
Vote for the bombs. They always vote for the war. They never vote for the soldier. Ever. They use these troops as props. And it also needs to be reported. What the military does is goes into the poorest neighborhoods to recruit these people. And those people are sent to the front lines. McCankle's Taco Tits, draft dodger. George W. Bush, draft dodger. Dick Cheney, draft dodger. All go in, march, let's drop bombs, and they send the poorest Americans they can to the front lines. It's such bullshit.
It's total bullshit. They have no respect for him. That's all. I mean, I'm on record for that. So are you. Okay, here's the thing. So we've got the Signal group chat. We've got leaking of classified information. We're firing all the people with any expertise in the Department of Defense. Now we can prove he lied to Congress. Here we go.
Headlines now. The Pentagon's watchdog has reportedly received evidence that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's Signal messages that previewed U.S. strikes in Yemen came from an email that was marked secret, no foreign. According to the Post, the secret designation means the information was classified at a level in which unauthorized disclosure could be expected to cause serious damage to national security.
We're going to get a report in a few days from the DoD Inspector General. And if the DoD Inspector General finds what is pretty obvious, both to you smiling there in the witness seat and to all of us up here, that the information was, in fact, classified, do you plan to take any accountability for that?
As I pointed out at the time...
you said that accountability is back. Does that not apply to you?
As I said at the time, Congressman, there were no names, targets, locations, units, routes, sources, methods, no classified information.
So he just fucking lied. He just lied. He doesn't want accountability for anybody that doesn't look like him. If you're a white male in this administration, rah, rah, sis, boom, bah. Anybody else, he doesn't give a shit. He wants to be the thought police in the Department of Defense. But why are we not talking about impeaching this person? Like, I've been on this drum from jump, how he was confirmed.
Because, Angie, the top of the ticket is a convicted felon. So, like, when you have that type of corruption at the top, it's just trickle down corruption, trickle down incompetence. You've seen his boss, Taco Tits, can't even speak in coherent sentences, doesn't know the difference between an insane asylum and those seeking asylum, which causes him to talk ad nauseum about a fictional character from Silence of the Lambs named Hannibal Lecter. So for any of us to have this thought that, oh, they're going to do the right thing here. This guy lied. He shouldn't be in charge of the Department of Defense. He's purging all these generals. He's doing all this fucked up shit. He clearly needs to be impeached. For us to have that thought, that's on us, because you have to look at the top and the incompetence, the corruption, and what an authoritarian play this is. The last thing they're going to do is impeach him, because that would look weak and it would look like their dear leader made a bad choice.
Yeah, well, and straight from Fox News. Okay, so how we talk that Pete Hegseth and all of these alpha men in the manosphere are just weak. They're just weak men parading as tough guys. So when I saw this, I had to put it in an episode. And it says from John Harwood, it's an article in the New York Times. Pete Hegseth is the quintessential weak, insecure white guy who tries to act tough because he can't handle the reality of the modern world. Nailed it. We've been saying this. We're not the only ones. He clashes over promotion, put Hegseth at odds with his generals. He's at odds with his generals also, I might add, because he's a complete fucking moron.
Don't you know? I mean, here's the thing. Like, there are troops that have devoted their life to the armed forces. They believe in it. It's in their DNA. They have a brotherhood and sisterhood with the fellow people that serve them. And they've, earnestly worked their way up the ranks. And then you get this dipshit marching in there, sending the bomb emoji and the thumbs up emoji and the fire emoji. Like, there are serious people that take national security and the lives of the troops very seriously. Pete Hegseth is not that guy. What's so crazy about this whole thing is the reason that he is the Secretary of Defense is because Donald Trump is a Fox News television addict.
Right.
And he watched him on Fox News, just like he did that alcoholic Jeanine Pirro, whatever the fuck her name is. I think he's hired something like 30 Fox News people. And that's why he's in charge of the world's strongest military, because this dipshit was on Fox News. It's insane. It's completely insane. The whole thing. We live in this country.
Right.
We live here.
We live here. And so going on, one of the things that Pete Hegseth likes to do is he likes to have gender ideology. He is mad about the gender. So he fired people over their gender ideology, 67 of them. And then he has been forced now to reinstate 65 of the 67 staffers he suspended for gender ideology violations. So I went on to read. I'm like, what is this? And here's what it is. To add insult to injury, he has now employed a team to monitor intimate spaces to ensure ongoing compliance with Trump's executive order defending women from gender ideology. So what he has done is put monitors in the fucking bathroom. That's what he's competent to do. Not to lead an army, but to put people in spaces to make sure girls are going to the girls' bathroom and men are going to the men's bathroom. And I'm going to tell you, I've peed in both. There's zero fucking difference. It makes me crazy.
This is all they have. Like, they have to, in order to keep the eye off the ball. And the ball is to working class Americans. You're not getting paid enough because the system is rigged for the fat cats like Trump and Musk and Bezos and all of these people. But in order to keep you from seeing that clearly, we're going to blame it on these woke lesbians that are trying to use the men's restroom. And then they're also sending kids to school and whacking off wieners, all this imaginary stuff that nobody gives a shit about. But these are the same people that believed in the litter box thing.
Right.
That kids were acting like cats at school, taking dumps in litter boxes. And like millions of Americans believe that because we have dumb people in this country. But the thing about Hegseth, he has such disdain for the history of our military. There was a guy named Harvey Milk, and he served in combat, I believe. And he was also a gay rights activist. And there's a great movie you can watch called Milk, where Sean Penn plays Harvey Milk. But he is so insecure, and he's such a fucking pussy, Hegseth is, that even the idea that the ship was named the SS Harvey Milk triggered him so much because he's such a whining, complaining, pussy, titty baby. He had the ship's name changed. Now, here's my thing. Like, I'm a straight woman. I don't sit around and think about lesbians. Actually, when I think about it is 2 times. Or one, when we kick the podcast to Kylie, who's a fabulous lesbian, or when I see our friend Renee Stubbs, who's out on all these great power lesbian vacations with all of her cool lesbian friends. I think, that'd be great, right, to be a lesbian. I don't think, oh my God, we need to do everything in our power to be the thought police and micromanage and make lesbians' lives miserable. So the larger question that I have for these MAGA men is, why are you so fucking obsessed with genitals and gay people and trans people? It's weird. It is not normal. It is not a normal thing to sit around and think, wow, I have my dream job. I'm the Secretary of the Department of Defense, and I'm going to institute a potty monitor. That's what I'm going to do at the Department of Defense. That's going to be my legacy, is I'm going to say, I'm the guy that started the TT monitoring at the Department of Defense. Can you imagine this motherfucker has his dream job and this is his thing that he's done?
Oh,
it's crazy.
It's insane. And here's the deal too. He's renaming ships that were named after African American soldiers.
Yes, that's,
women.
That's so important to point out. Yes,
he's going against everyone that is not a white male, just like him. And we know he's a white supremacist because he has the white supremacist tattoos.
And that goes into pumps. That goes into the whole thing to keep their eye off the ball.
Right.
If they can tell these working class Americans, who are obviously very frustrated. Being an American is incredibly frustrating because the rich get richer and the wages don't increase for the working class. Healthcare fucking sucks or is non-existent, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they have to say, oh, white voters, here's why you can't have nice things. It's not all these white men ripping you off, not paying taxes while you pay your fucking taxes. It's because of the women, these gays, these lesbians, these trans people, which I want to remind everybody is less than 1% of the population. It's just, and of course, their number one go-to at all times are Black and brown people.
Absolutely. Because they're fucking horrible, cruel people.
Racist.
They're racist.
Total racist.
Misogynist, homophobic. Nothing good. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 1 million followers.